Hi, I'm Laurie with To the Trade, and I have someone really special here today. Dara, you're from the Zen Experience. I'm so excited to talk to you because I am all about health and wellness. It's actually one of the reasons we started interior design community was the podcast was because we noticed designers were burned out, and we really wanted to help them with their own journey into wellness as part of the design. I know it sounds,
It
cheesy,
is not.
but I really was worried and concerned that designers were really stressed out, and I wanted to see if there was any way that through conversation we could help give them practical skills that they wouldn't be. So I love that you are into that, but introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your
Okay,
business
well,
first.
hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Dara Segbefia, and I am the principal interior designer of the Zen Experience. My work is rooted in holistic interior design, where I focus on creating spaces that support the mental health and the overall well-being. A big part of my transformations are with schools. That is my niche, and I'm proud of it. And that is also to help with teachers, the unsung heroes, the students, our future leaders, and the staff.
Ugh. And it really can. I mean, just transforming spaces that are in nature. This is where you're spending a lot of your time. Like, it is so important that it gives you a sense of peace. It helps the children that are in that
Yes.
environment. Even if you're just focusing on, like, the work areas that the staff is experienced, they're more relaxed when they're going into the classroom. Like, it's just such a great thing that you're doing that. And of course, you know, how mixed your business is with healing, community building, well-being of the individual. What a great niche. I
I
I mean, how did you discover that was what you wanted to do?
my daughter. The the business is named after my
Really?
daughter, Zanaya, and I had her during COVID. And I had a client of mine that saw that I love children. That has always been my thing. I used to be a nanny as well, a lover of children. And her name is Cassie. What's up, Cassie? She was a principal, and she knew how much I loved community and children. And she's seen my design in residential. I still do residential as well. Still the lover of wellness. And she said, why don't we just merge this together? I have this teacher's lounge. I want them to feel seen. And I feel like you would be the perfect person to show that. And I'm like, immediately, yes. And at that point,
Right.
I was pregnant with my second daughter, Zoe. And I'm like, let's just do this. And what I found was it was beyond the design, but that reveal showed that these teachers and these staff needed this more than they thought. So originally, they were in a room that looked like nothing,
Yeah. Everything left over, everything's
Right. A
junky,
yard
like,
sale is what I
they're
call
trying to
it.
find a little spot to eat their lunch in
Exactly.
peace,
They
like.
find the corner, or sometimes they're not even in there because it's not inviting, right? They're in their classrooms or they're
Right,
in their
right.
car.
Go to their
You know
car.
it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
okay. So I said, let me put my all in and let's see what this is. And it was a overflowing of I feel seen, I feel respected. Now we have a place where we can decompress. And now I'm like, whoa, this is kind of like a case study for myself because this feels good too, vibration, energy wise. Now they're excited to work there and
Right?
it's a full circle. It starts off with the teacher. So if their energy is up and they're excited, that bounces to the children and they're feeling that. I'm like, I think I have something here, you know? So,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. And even in a corporate world, even in, hospitality, I could see that feeling of, like, comfort. We've all like, for instance, like, I'm just gonna explain, like, everybody can relate to this. We've all walked into
yeah,
a hotel, we've gone right to the checkout,
yep,
and there are chairs there, there's a
right.
fireplace, there might be. We go and get our room key. We go right up to the room. We do not spend time in this area because it doesn't necessarily feel inviting. We've all walked into hotels that are amazing,
Yeah,
that have like the right
absolutely.
vibe, and it feel like you want to sit there. You might go up to your room, drop off your bag, and come down and sit and do
Yeah.
your work there. Like it feels there are definitely ways that a designer can bring that
And that's how I
comfort
and that's how
into
I
even
felt.
corporate
That's how I
space.
felt because since I had both of my children during COVID, they couldn't go to school at that time. So I was with them one on one. And let me tell you, it was stressful. So I've already appreciated
Mm.
teachers, but because I had that personal experience, this is my own kid, and this just too. Teachers have like 15, 20 kids, different personalities coming from different backgrounds, and they're there for so many hours. Like that's why I really wanted to do it because again, I had to homeschool. And my appreciation to the
Sure.
teachers were like, okay, this feels so aligned. I do want to be that person to be a change, even if it's with an intentional design from the Zen experience. So that's truly how it really started. And be having that experience and showing it is it's everything. Like everything. And it became a
I love
standing
it.
portfolio because schools visit other schools. So now they're walking in like, "Oh my gosh, can we experience this too? Can we can we hire her?" I'm like, "Sure."
Right.
You
Yeah,
get
you can.
me?
By the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, and this is weird to do on the air type thing, but do you know the Design
I've
Besties?
I've heard of
Have you heard
them
of
and I've
them?
seen them before, yes. But I don't know any of them specifically.
Yes, they're doing this. They are doing a similar thing for High Point Market. They design a teacher's lounge in the school. They're developing a nonprofit that will help designers sort of give back in ways in their local community. And I'm definitely gonna after this introduce you to them because they're doing some great work. I'm actually gonna be um in the Cast Brunch
Okay.
showroom at High Point
Shout
interviewing
me out, girl.
about
Shout
how
me out.
yeah, we're gonna have a panel about, making real friends in market too. Like you go to market to get product, to learn things, but like these are great times to make real friendships, real
Right.
networking so that you have a team of people that you can lean on during those stressful times. And speaking of the stressful times, I really want to dig in to your experience with you not only creating Zen-like environments for your clients and the commercial work that you do, but you really believe in the mission of mental
Yes.
health for all people and designers in general. So tell me a little bit about how mental health leads is a passion project for
So for
you.
me, the reason why I focus on it, it's the clarity of my brain. If I'm feeling stressed out, I cannot perform at my best self for my clients. So that's unfair, number one. Two, I owe it
Right.
to myself to pour into me so I can flow. I call it the Zen flow, right? It's not really like I have a specific balance because honestly, I feel like it's unrealistic, but there's an energy flow that you can gain every day, and that comes with boundaries. And I feel like for
Mhm.
designers, when we have our design hours that we are operating in work, that is it. But we also have to learn how to shut that down and be present with our own life because we have our own families and we have our own friends. And I feel like sometimes with this industry, we are, because we're passionate about it, we're so into the project that it's easy for you to lose yourself. So I work off of
It
systems.
is.
Systems has helped me with my mental health. In the morning, I wake up earlier, or even be earlier before my kids wake up to read, to stretch my body, to just simply work out. I do not touch Instagram. I do not touch my emails, like non negotiable. I need to just be present. And that is okay.
I
even with
love
the
it.
emails, I don't start my
Yeah,
day off with emails because I feel triggered already trying to answer questions for vendors.
right,
Like it's not realistic as well for a everyday living. So I create systems. Take my kids to school in the morning. I stopped doing meetings because realistically it was not working for my everyday life. And for those clients who understand, that is my client. That is my client fit. So I focused on that versus
right,
chasing projects just for monetary reasons. And that I found peace in. I found the peace
right.
with what is aligning to myself and what's calming to my nervous system.
We absolutely need more of that. I mean, I do not know a designer I have not talked to in the last years that has not told me personally of sleepless nights, of up at worried about this client problem or that client problem. And, I constantly am trying to preach, like, remove yourself from the situation, pull you out, right? Let's imagine they never
Yeah.
met you. You didn't design the space. They would still be having problems. They would still have
Because the
damaged
honesty
goods.
is
They
our
would
names
still
are also on the project, right? So
Sure,
that
sure.
is a big thing, especially if you run your own business. So we want to try to take out the fire as much as we can. So you still need an outlet though, or else you're going to burn out. My outlet as well is my design friends.
Right,
We meet up with each other and we just spill the beans, having that outlet to just be real. We get our drinks. And then we also share resources and things to calm our mind. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot that person does these custom cabinetry. I will try them out. So having that safe
right.
group of designer friends has also been such a game changer.
Our industry, I mean, has come so far in the time that I've been in it in that regard. Like, we have gotten so much better about leaning on one another, caring for one another, believing in community over competition, really supporting our industry by supporting each other. I love that you said that because I think it's really important to remember that there are hundreds of thousands of designers that are in the same space, understand you,
Yeah, there's no
care, would
competition.
listen,
It's just love. Like,
love, and you can't they get it. They get it on that, like, visceral level of, like, "Oh my gosh, I was there. I
mm,
did the same thing." I mean, how many times do you
oh,
just come into our
yeah,
community where we have a question of the day and you're like, "Oh my god,"
you
or the
too.
memes, then you're like, "Yes."
I feel seen. I mean, because you have your other friends and we love them, but there's something that's different with designers that are in your industry that truly get it. Like, I know why you're so tired. What can we do to help each
Right,
other? And because
right,
we're so in our head
right,
all the time, that in itself is tired. I can't tell you how many times I talk to myself, but now it's gotten better.
right,
But you need that outlet to just talk. Sometimes
right,
it's just that.
right, and work it out, like, work out it's a very complex business. It's like you're working out, like, what can I do to solve that, and how can I fix this scenario? And sometimes it's just that ability to, like, work it through, and it is isolated. I find this
Hmm.
industry to be incredibly isolating. People feel like there isn't anything you can do to go on to another like, if I ran a restaurant, I there are so many resources, and I can see what other people are charging, and I can see what rents are in different areas by calling around. Like, it's much more
Right.
visible, whereas design is so a la carte and so
Hmm.
custom. You don't know what anyone else is charging. It takes a good 10 years in our industry, I think, to fully flesh out and feel like you got the system and that you've had every bad
Right.
scenario, and we're not, and you haven't always. There's going to be more, but at least you have, like, a working
Yes.
model of, like, I think I've figured out my pricing to some degree, when you're about 10 years in, but it shouldn't take 10 years. We're trying to change that. Like, we want designers earning money that they need to be making year
Right.
one,
And that's where conversation is so
we
strong
want
for that reason with your
yeah.
design.
and being truthful and being like real about what went wrong, what how you price,
Right.
like where these little fees that you can. I just was at visiting a designer who I think has delicious systems, and she talks about how she adds an admin fee of 10% onto her projects. And I'm like, every designer should add an admin fee for 10% of their projects because you all lose
Yeah.
money from so many different factors. There's documentation, there's, just supplies, paper and supplies that get used throughout the project. An admin fee is not a bad,
It's
and then
not.
like there's occasional like, okay, we have to buy that faucet for that client. It's just we have to do it. So with that, there should be an admin fee. Why really should that come out of your
I like that
pocket?
idea.
The client would have
Right.
anyway if you weren't involved.
No, I absolutely like that.
And that paperwork printed by somebody, like, of course. So I have another designer the first person I called when I heard she had an admin fee for 10% was a designer I know across the country from her that she holds 10% because she knows things are going to go wrong in the project.
Uh,
She's going to do
mhm.
this because she needs to keep the flow of the job moving
Before going
forward,
back and
to keep
forth.
everybody happy, to pay for this little delivery fee, pay for that. There's just going to be things so she keeps 10% aside for that. And so I told her immediately about this admin fee. And I was like, you should instead of taking that 10%, next project, I want you to add a 10% admin fee. And
I
she's going to do
love
it. Like,
that.
it's just like these little
Yeah.
ways of sharing this information. It's just, incrementally making sure you're really communicating with the client so that you are not
Getting shorthanded, right, at the
losing.
end, because that happens a lot.
It doesn't feel good to I know another designer who's like, if I am not making proper money for my work, I start to feel
Yeah,
resentful for my clients, and nobody
right.
wants to do that. No one wants to feel resentful.
You start losing your
So
passion.
don't yeah, yeah. Who wouldn't? If you're doing this hard of a job and dealing with this many problems and not making money, no thank you.
That's a setup for failure. That's why did I choose violence?
That is a failure. So when you started on this journey and really going after, community resource centers, education, what was it that happened what was the outcome for the people that experienced your design? What was the feedback that you were getting that pulled you in deeper?
The feedback is I asked questions. Like, I specifically went back, I asked questions, and they said, "I feel seen." That was the biggest thing that
Ooh.
I always heard, and I feel valued. And there were some people that were working at some of these schools for years. And this was the one thing that they said, I didn't even know how much I needed this until it happened. So I knew there was a need for that. And also, the turnover in schools is way more than in the past. So, and everybody is also younger. The teachers are like extremely young these days. So, creating spaces where they also feel connected, right down to like, I could take selfies in a school that I'm proud of. Those things like holds a person in. So it's like, why they always wanted to know, like, why didn't anybody else think about this? And that makes me happy because then they want to tell other people about it. Like, you guys have to experience what I just experienced. And that is like,
Right.
okay, they're feeling this beyond the
Yeah.
actual pieces that are in the space, but they're talking about the experience within it and how functional. That was another big thing. I can't believe you made this small space do this. I would have never have thought that.
Right.
Or now we have two microwaves and we can warm up our food faster. So I would create the spaces
Yeah.
for introverts, extroverts. Everybody felt like there was a piece in this room that called their name out. And that is like, okay, let's do it again. And also, depending on the demographic and the location of the schools, a lot of them felt like they didn't know if they even deserved this. And I wanted to break generational curses on that point as well, because it's like, absolutely. Just because you're in this location,
Absolutely.
that does not mean that you are going to get less than. So that was also a very strong point for me that said, I need to do more spaces like this in places that have kind of like bad views and tell them and show them not only are the students doing well, regardless of the location, but they are just as much deserving as any other place.
How and I gotta get into it with you about it, but how is this making you money? Are you making money
I
doing this?
am. So every,
Okay.
it depends on the school, right? So
Okay.
every school has a budget. And I felt like just how you are with your business of being like the advocate for designers, I was doing that for teachers because now I have to go in and explain to the higher ups why this is so
Right. The
important.
school board, this is why I need your
Right.
money.
So it's not easy. It's
Right.
absolutely not easy. But once I created my own case study showing them the difference between before and after, they started to realize, oh, this is bigger than what we thought. So I really had to fight for
Right.
it, but it made sense. And they created the budget for me to do what I needed to do. But I am going in the future to want to start a nonprofit for the other schools that do not have the budget because I still feel like
Right.
there is so much more that I can do for the other locations.
Right.
So that is the future.
Right. I would think that there are a lot of schools in really high income neighborhoods, private schools that would be like all about
Yes.
this. Like they're going to have the funding for it. They're going to have no problem. But the schools that need it the most wouldn't,
Right.
that need that space even more. Because if with poverty comes kids who have, some behavioral issues sometimes, or kids that
Yeah.
aren't, and, I worked in low income neighborhoods. It's like, it's not easy. Those kids are dealing with challenges that kids that don't have income, problems have. And so being able to make sure, they have a safe and happy space for the teachers too to recharge, because it's even more stressful when you've got kids who have, or there's a need, like, I worked years ago, there was something we did because a designer ripped off a nonprofit, and we as a design community came together and fixed it, but it was, the benefit was to this after school program in a very
Hmm.
gang-ridden neighborhood, called Dorchester Sports League. They literally give peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to the students because they're not getting dinner. Some of them are not getting dinner
Yeah.
at night, not
Right.
all of them, but some of them. You know, they do an after school sports program to build confidence, and they really wanted to have lights outside because they wanted a safe transport from the facility to the
Right. Right.
cars, for the parents to pick up. And there was a designer who was well known who had a podcast, and he took the money and
And
ran. Like, took
ran.
they had a, yep, yeah, I know. Never did well. Eventually, he had to pay the money back because he got caught. Those, like, newscaster things where they get you at a
Yeah.
air they got him coming back from a first class flight and going to his car and
You
asked
are
him
spilling the
questions,
tea.
and that he didn't pay. I know, I know. But our community stepped up in a big way. Interior design community, we raised like $29,000 for this
Ugh,
charity, and I really truly believe designers will never let this happen to if they can prevent that kind of thing. So every designer I know stepped up and personally gave money. There were brands
I
that gave
love that.
money. And this guy eventually got a judgment against him where he was going to go to jail, and he did pay back too. So they were up at the end of this, which was
Right.
good. But you don't recognize until you work with people like this, like how
Yeah.
valuable it is for students that are in that kind of world to have really great mentors, really great teachers, and what better way to make those people feel like they can handle that pressure, because I mean, imagine having the not being able to hand out a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to a kid that you know isn't gonna eat dinner tonight because you can't afford it. Like, imagine the feeling of that. Like, that
It's like
wears
I
on a
have
person,
goosebumps
or
right
that'd be a
now just hearing you say that
oh,
because it's the truth. And it's
yeah,
like sometimes when I'm doing these reveals and I sit down, like I just did one. I did a school in Compton. We did the reveal 2 days ago, and I can see the light literally coming from their eyes. They're starting to say, oh my gosh, now that we have this space, we can have group meetings. Like they're just talking about all of these things because now there is a safe space for them to do these things.
right.
And I love that.
Oh,
Like that is another payment in
yeah.
itself. That's not monetary.
Oh, of course. Like, you have that trickle down
Oh,
of that is you have helped the teachers, you have helped the community, you have helped the students, like, because if they are able to have a space to recharge, decompress, like, they deal with some very severe things that they have no control over
right.
fixing in some days. You know, you've got kids who have severe mental health issues, you've got kids who have learning disabilities, you have kids who you're sending them back to a bad
Right.
environment. Like,
Right.
then you have kids who, are very lucky, but they need a little encouragement and they need a little, push, and they're really, gonna go places, but they
They
need
need a space that's
direction. Like, there's
inspiring,
just
that's
much.
motivating.
Yes,
I bring pieces in of
yeah.
them.
Meeting people where they are, you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. We're on the
Yes.
same page here, girl.
That's
I
why
think
I'm
this
like,
is like
nonprofit is absolutely the next one because I'm gonna be like the president of this. Like, you get a school design, like, let's do it.
yes. Yeah, and start early, I'm telling you. There's even, like, really big daycares too that those teachers need, all the way up into college. Like, those professors need
And they
spaces
just need
to
also the tools. Like a lot of
do
these
so.
schools,
Yeah.
even at my daughter's school, they still give us like, can you guys give us some pens and more paper and all these things? Like, can we not do that anymore? Can we find some sponsors, funding
Funding.
for that
Yeah.
so the teachers can actually do their job because they have the material to teach our children?
Oh gosh. For years and years, my teachers will know I was the one who they'd give me the list. I'd go to, like, Costco, and I would buy the
I'm the
mega,
mom
mega
for that
packs
too.
of every single thing,
Like, you want 5? I'm
like,
gonna give you
dry
10.
like, hand sanitizer, wipes, Clorox wipes, tissues, paper towels, like, you can have all of it.
Yeah.
Believe
Like,
me,
I don't
you
want a
deserve it.
teacher
You
giving me an
deserve it.
Amazon wish list,
Right. But they
but
don't
they
have a
don't.
choice sometimes. They don't have the funding. And there are gonna be kids that don't have those supplies, and, I always sent my kids in with 3, 4 packs of different things because I'm like, "Just pass it out. I don't care."
Right.
Like, I don't care. Share your stuff. Share your my kids are fine. They're coming home with whatever they need. But I wanted, my kids to recognize other students might not have
Right.
that. If you see a kid that's hungry, you give your lunch, half your lunch, you help your neighbor, you give them, your colored pencils or your crayons, like, you can get more, maybe
That's
they don't have
that's
it. So, not to be taken advantage of,
right.
but be helpful
There
to your
needs to be
neighbor,
more
it
people
is
like
important.
us to show that there are people that are not doing this because it's a phase, it's a thing, but like, no, we are really here. How can we help the community? Like, what does that look like? Because for every school, it does look different. And really honing in
Right,
on that, I like to listen. When I'm doing these projects, I speak to the principal, but I also speak to the teachers separately, right? Because when they're together,
right,
the teachers are gonna be like, oh, we just want this. But when it's separate and I hear them pour their heart out, I'm like, okay, I hear your needs. Let me see how I can
right.
intertwine this on a couple of levels where maybe I can get some sponsors to help me add on to the budget because I really want to do this for the people.
Right. And you never like, there are so many, think about how many sponsors they get for the basketball team and the little league. And if they can do it for the sports,
For
they can do it
education.
for education, and this has a direct impact on the education of your children if their teachers are happy and have space for themselves and are able to recharge. Wouldn't don't you like, as a parent, that moment where you can be by your, like, I was just telling my husband, I was like, we were telling our daughter, she's grown up, she's 24, but we were like just telling her she's here working from home. She has an apartment, but
Right.
she likes to work.
Mhm.
So she's at her house today, and she said, we were like, there would be a time like your dad would come home, and I'm like, she is yours. I am going out. I am going to drive my car. Sometimes I didn't
Oh,
want to
same
come
here.
home.
Oh, the
You know what I
bathroom
mean?
was my favorite
You know,
part.
you're like, yeah, you just hitting your limit of like the screaming that you could listen to, like, and you just know you don't have any more
So my
patience,
husband and
and
I,
you need to
we do a
breathe.
thing. When he comes
Yeah.
in, we shout out percentage of where we are. So if he's coming in from work
Oh, I
and he
love
goes
that.
50% and I'm like -5, he knows right there, I'm putting the kids to bed. She is not going to do dinner tonight either. Let's get some takeout. It's
Right.
like a said, unsaid. Like I don't even have the energy to explain everything that happened today. But if I'm at a -5, just know mommy cape is totally off now and it's above me. So that's
Right.
our thing that we
You're
do.
done.
Yeah. And then if it's like the same percentage,
I love
we
that.
literally rock, paper, scissors to make it fun to see who's putting the kids to bed.
Right? Why not? Why not? I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Make it fun. Make it gamify what your life so that you're having some fun with that. And kids love that too. Like they like the gamification of things also. So but you don't forget how great it is that we all have our space to breathe. We all have our space to unwind. We all get oversensitized, like we get overstimulated. We get to a point where we need to calm
Right.
down in order to do. I can't even imagine 20 kids asking me questions
Girl.
all day. Like that sounds like the worst.
I'm like, you chose this.
Like
But people love
I'm
it,
like,
Like my hat goes off to you. That's why I call them the
yes,
unsung heroes because they really, really are. Because they
are.
have the kids at the bulk of the day too. So by the time our kids come home,
They do.
it's dinner, homework,
Yep.
bedtime. Like their
Right.
teachers are the parents, to be honest as well.
They are. Yeah. Yeah,
So I want to pour into them.
absolutely. Now, how is that working with you? I noticed that you really give back a lot to other designers too, teaching them wellness techniques, help them do better at their jobs too. You're really espousing these same principles that you use for your own life out to other designers. Are you noticing that designers have a stressful job?
Absolutely. I think it's just natural. I'm a natural nurturer since young. And I am what I consider like energetically sensitive. So I feel a lot. Even when the designers come around, I'm like, okay, girl, you feel heavy. What's going on? And they're just like, no.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I feel like if I don't say something, I'm not walking in my purpose. And it doesn't exert energy from me because it's what I want to do. And I'll have designers text me like, girl, that conversation, even though it was 5 minutes, it was literally everything that I needed. And I feel like I want to
Oh,
be that person. Again, it does not take anything away from me. If anything, it builds our friendship even deeper as well. Whether it's a voice, it could be a
right.
voice message, a quick FaceTime, or a quick I love you. Like grown women, we still need that type of love for each other.
We do.
Not just a
Do.
you had a beautiful design, you're rocking it. Like beyond that. Like when's the last time you went on
Right.
vacation? Did you see your parents in a while? Like just real conversations. Or they'll ask me, "What are you doing?" My joy's in my garden. I'm drinking wine and I'm watering my plants. You know what? I think I want to try that too. Girl, let me tell you where to buy the plants, how to do it. If you want me to help you plan it, let's have a planning date. And like just organically finding different ways. Like I have two girlfriends, we went vintage shopping. Not for anything in particular,
I love that.
but we just did. And we had lunch and we talked
Yeah.
about it, not just about things that are going wrong, but things that are going right. And it's like, can we do this more?
Right. Yeah. Well, you're such a great community member because that is what community should be about. It should be about being real with one another, really listening, really feeling, getting beyond the surface level with people and, being that soft support when they need
I
it, or encouragement when they need it, whatever that
Because
is,
I feel like I want to know my designer friends not for just what they're known for aesthetically. Like I have a really good girlfriend named Mishi. I call her Big Mish. And it's like she's from Egypt. She has a different background, but we have very similar upbringings. So our conversations are like, is that how you were with your dad too? Was he super strict? Like, is it okay to be just different and wear bell bottoms and different color hair? Like when you find your person as well, that in itself feels really good. Because before it's like, who's that person? Now it's like, hey girl, I see you. I
yeah,
see you. You
yeah,
see me. Like that's what I love about finding people and truly understanding them as a whole versus just, I
right,
love you because you have an eclectic design. No, like,
right.
do you like Caribbean food? Do you like Spanish food? Oh my gosh, can you tell me the best restaurant in this state so I can write it down and like those type of conversations. That's what I thrive off.
Yeah. The real get to the real meat of it instead of just surface level business BS. You know what I mean? Like it's business is great and it's great to talk about design. It's great to talk about design problems, but getting further
Yeah.
too. I love that you do that. I love that you do that because that's how real friendship is made and born. Is not just like your work is so good and because as soon as that person stops doing work or isn't able to do work or is, out of the industry because of some
Right.
issue, like, are they forgotten? Are they irrelevant? Like, if you don't know them as a person, then they're not your real friend.
That's so true. I have another designer friend, Lauren, where in the morning we send voice messages of like three things we're going to do for the day. Not always design. It's like, okay, I'm going to go to yoga because I want to try it again. But then I have this contractor meeting. She sends it, and then that's it. Like we kind of hold each other accountable in a softer way,
I love. That
you
is so
know?
great. I love that. That's sisterhood right there. I
Yeah.
love that. That's so fun. I just remember I was yesterday, there's a designer that I've known for years and he got out of the industry. He worked originally for Pottery Barn for some years and then now he's out of the industry in a different capacity doing marketing and social media and he just bought a house and he's like touring the
Yes.
house with me, and I'm just, like, so excited for him because we're real friends. We weren't just friends from industry stuff, we're
Right.
actual friends, and that's
It's
just the
funny to
way
say it,
it
but
should
it's
be. I
true.
mean,
Like we're
obviously,
we're friends.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
real friends. I mean, about him, and I care about what's happening. Like, he's an uncle to our
Right.
kids, like, we love him. So, it's just this is this is the way it should be in our industry. I know people who have come into our community who've become like sisters to each other. I know like they have gone on vacations together. They go out together. Like I love
I love
nothing
to see
more.
it.
Like if you want to make like if send me a picture of you with another community member, I will text me. I will be like make my day. That's like my favorite
Yeah.
thing in
Like
the
if I
world.
know
Is when
somebody,
designers are like,
excuse me, when I see like a designer
it's
from
okay.
like the East Coast and I see them with another designer that I know, I get so giddy. Like, yes, you guys finally met each
Yes, right?
other and you guys are going to showrooms together. This is amazing.
It's so great. I mean, the ability to love one another and care about one another truly, like really truly. And it seems like that is such an important part of your whole life philosophy too, which is I love that because that's how I
But it's
feel.
not normal. Like,
I
let's
feel
keep it
like
real too. With the industry walking in, some things were just not really inviting. That was the missing part too.
right.
Like, if you weren't doing something grand, you might have a couple of looks. And I feel like that was a big part in the designer world for a moment. I feel like now it's become a lot more relaxed and people just showing up as themselves versus how they think they should be in
Right.
different rooms. And I think I love that, that I'm seeing more of that
Right.
organic. It's a feeling, it's a frequency. I like
Right.
this new
Yeah.
chapter for the designers.
I do too. And, and recognizing design should be accessible. I mean, there's so much of design that is I love luxury design, don't get me wrong. The luxury build, I see some designers doing amazing things with huge budgets. That's fantastic. It is great. It's always going to be part of our industry. But there's also designers who are doing really unique things with small budgets that are really, really creative.
That's
I
me.
was, a judge for the Design Casey magazine, and we had last year, one of the people who put in for an award renovated like a car wash into a community
Wow.
center, and it was obviously a low budget project, but it was so inventive, and I really felt like, it's we've all seen like when a Pizza Hut
Right,
becomes a vet
right,
clinic and you can still tell it
right,
100% it's a Pizza Hut. But they did a really great job of making it not feel like a car wash and also to
right.
honor the
I
car
felt like you
wash
were
in
about to
some
say
ways.
that. Yeah.
But it was witty. It was very witty. It was very creative. And, I fought for them to get an honorable mention because I'm like, no, it wasn't like comparing it to other projects. It wasn't like, as much money or as, there were obviously more resources put into some projects, but it was really inventive and it was really cool because it was doing something with the funds. First of all, that
Yep.
helped the community,
That's
right?
my
Like
thing.
that's
That's my jam.
great
Yep.
and needed. That's that's awesome. But also like it was helping, the way they were thought about it and the way
Intentional.
they played
Yeah.
around with it. There was a lot of creativity being used, and I love creativity in all forms. I love when people think outside the box
Can I
and
say something
attack a
actually too?
problem in a unique
Can I
way.
say something? One thing that I
Yeah,
love about you as well, and just your page is the jokes. I need to say this part. I think it is so important. I will be on a job site, right? And whatever, something crazy's happening. Take my phone, take a little breather, and I'll go on your page. And the laugh that I get, like laughing is therapy. And I'm a really big
it is.
jokester. If you know, like if you really know me, I am that person. I want to laugh all the time. And I feel like that's so important too in the design world. I know we are always doing so many
Yes.
meticulous things, but to laugh and just say like, "Oh my god," like I
Right.
love that about your page.
I love to hear that because sometimes I do, I'm not often, but once in a while, somebody will say, do you think maybe you're like, I don't know how to say it to be mean, but like they'll say something like, do you think that it leads to negativity in our industry, in some ways? Like, are the jokes like at the expense of the client a little too much or at the expense of, and I worry about it. Like, am I helping in the way that motivates the designers to just, like, laugh it off, or am
I think
I
it's both. It's not only
be
just
am
laughing,
I emboldening it? You know
it
what I
builds
mean?
conversation. Like
That kind of
I
thing.
have DM'd another designer something that you posted, and I'm like, "Girl, let's talk about it." I think it's healthy
Yeah,
and it's funny and it's something different.
yeah. Well, it's the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it is what happens sometimes. Obviously, if 1,000 people have shared it, it it's not an isolated incident, right? So, that is what it is, but I wanna make sure that it
It
feels
feels
positive and it
positive.
feels
I feel seen.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
good. 'Cause I worry about it. I worry about it, like, am I I don't wanna contribute to designers hating their job. I want you to love your job.
I
I want
think
you
we
to
feel
I
seen.
want you to
Like I
be
like it's like, oh
appreciated.
my gosh,
Yeah,
she gets it. We do go through these things. We do have that roller coaster of, oh my God, I'm so excited about the project. What the hell? Why did I say yes? Wait a minute, that custom piece came
yeah,
in and it's really, really good. Now I want to start my own business of custom furniture. Wait a minute, Dara. Don't go to
right.
you like literally, that is our brain. Like it's just raw and it's real and it's funny. I love it.
Aw, thank you, thank you, and I do think laughter is important. I mean, I think that I love to laugh. I love to be in the moment of enjoying. I think that makes me enjoy my job more to
Same.
laugh, and I sometimes when I'm making them, because I make every single one of them, just so you know, other than the
Yeah.
shared ones, but I make them myself personally, and I laugh at making
Yeah,
them
I
sometimes. I'm like, "If this made me laugh,
it makes us
hopefully
laugh.
this will make," and I'll show my husband or my kids, and they're like, "Do you think this is funny?
Yeah,
Is this funny?
you're
Did I cross
right.
the line?"
No, it's funny. It's therapy. I love to laugh. Like even with the contractors and when stuff is going wrong, I'll make jokes on the site because all I got is laughter at this point because I'm so like
So much of it is out of our control. It's like it's out of a designer's control whether or not it comes in broken 3 times. It's out of the control whether or not, like, you have the best relationship with your contractor sometimes. Like, you don't sometimes
my
you don't get to pick
last
it,
install,
you
we
know?
had curtains, 2 panels a pack. What are the odds that one of the packets had a panel that was shorter than the other? And now it's installed. What are the odds, right? And we put it all up, and
Right?
my
Right.
project manager, Nina, is like, "Oh my God, one is shorter." And we just start laughing because literally we have no time to fix this. So now we have to get creative
Right?
because that's why they like literally hired us. And
Right?
that's it. We have to release it.
Yeah.
I'll deal with the
Yeah.
company later. We'll get our refund later. But like right now, it's okay. And that was another thing. Okay, because I know we have to wrap this up, but another part of my piece is my project manager. My my
I love
project
that. That is very important.
listen, Linda, project manager. My project manager, Nina, has and having somebody that knows you. I am very type A. She is type A as well. I literally feel like she is in my brain. And our energy together, not just apart, but also together, is just aligned. We finish each other's sentences. It's like we're in a relationship as well, you know? And she is focused on logistics, and that is her jam. She allows me to stay in my creative flow because she's so good at what she does on that end.
Right.
That is also a huge part
Absolutely.
of where my piece is coming from. And I've known from her experience, she has worked with other people with huge budgets to different ones. So I know what she can handle. So for me to be able to delegate that and then also finding a sisterhood within her, because beyond the work, we hang out as well. We're not always
Oh, I love
texting
that.
each
That's
other
so
about
great.
work. It's like, girl, I started my period. So I'm gonna let you know. I'm no good today. I will be curled up in the bed. Just like girl stuff, or just even
Right.
about family things. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna do something with Zen and Zoe. Like, how was it? Send me photos. Like that part of it is
Oh,
like I feel like I wanted that in my
right.
business more than anything is my project manager, Dina.
Oh, and honestly, I will tell you from experience with other designers, I've looked at books. A project manager is worth their weight in gold because they are getting those returns done for you. They are, I mean, all the money that sometimes you just like let go because you just can't be bothered, they will chase it down. They are worth every penny of the price of a project manager,
Even
and they
time.
will, keep everything going. And you can
Yep.
charge for it too. In the client process, you can charge for project management, and they will also help navigate all of the logistical things that you need done and really chase down, returns and things that you
That
need
we
to
should
have
I
done,
love it. And
process.
even time. She will tell me,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Dara, you have spent 15 hours in this. We need to get to this next phase. And because of just designers, naturally, we're
Right.
just in it. We're mixing, we're creating,
Right.
but you need somebody like that to say, hey, on to the next, or else you have to create another invoice
On to the next.
for some
Yeah.
more money.
Yeah. Right.
We all need a
Right.
project manager.
And that's the reality of this. We all want to get paid. So having that keeping on track side, and it sounds like for you too, that real connection with a
It's so
coworker
important.
so that you weren't by
Yeah.
yourself in this, was a needed grounded
And
factor
has
for
the
you.
same values as well and understands about
Yeah.
community. That was very important to me because I don't want to be a salesy person like this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But if you just get it and you're with it, then like it just flows. Again, there's my Zen flow. I'm gonna bring that back in.
Yeah. Well, you are a person that I can tell like is a great leader, a great coworker, someone who is advocating for their community, someone who is really truly advocating for designers and their own piece. I mean, I am super impressed. I think that you're bringing a lot to our
Thank
table, and
you.
I'm so happy you're part of the community, and I'm so happy you're here because this is needed. Believe me, I talk to designers every day. If all of them had these strategies to find that joy in their process and find that joy and balance in their personal lives as well, like, we would be in a great shape.
Thank you.
So, I hope it gets out there further and everyone starts
Yes.
practicing the Zen
Thank
experience.
you. This was so much fun.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming, and I will make sure everyone gets your links and starts to
Thank
follow
you. I
you.
appreciate you.